Welcome to the Learning Pro Live. My name's Cath Ellis, and I've kind of been, it's been crazy the last couple of weeks. Haven't had a chance to jump online, but I wanted to share a tool that I've been using quite recently that is just really streamlined my productivity, and that is a tool called TextExpander. Now, love to hear a little bit if you guys have ever heard of TextExpander or if you're currently using it. I think it's a fantastic tool, and I can't wait to show how I've been using it. Now, I'd love to know where you guys are tuning in from. Are you, well, it's Sunday afternoon here, so I think I'm going to have a slower audience, but hopefully some of you guys will watch it on replay. But we've got people tuning in, so let me know, where are you tuning in from? I've also got a new camera that I'm trying out today, which is really exciting, and I've been playing around with the camera settings. It's called a Sony ZV-E10, which I'm quite excited about. Haven't been streaming in 1080. I have in the past been streaming at 720, so I'm hoping that this is just fine-tuning the camera. So, all right, what is TextExpander? Well, let me show you. Let me go over to my desktop. I'm going to jump over here. All right, so what I've got is an example of TextExpander. Now, just bear with me. I'm just going to move this out of the way. So I've got a window here that I'm going to show you basically what is TextExpander and why I think it's so great. It's actually made from a company called, let me just squiz this over here so you can see it. So it's textexpander.com. It's very, very cheap actually. So I did a demo of it. It's $3.33. And essentially what it does is it allows you to, I'm just going to minimize that, allows you to create a load of shortcuts that you can essentially basically, I'm stumbling over my words, you see. Basically, you can set up a number of shortcuts. If you've got things that are repetitive that you do, you can set up some shortcuts to make things easier. So one of the things that I do all the time is I give out my Calendly, okay? It's a bit of a pain in the bum. So what it's essentially allowed me to do is set up a shortcut. So for example, if I've got a someone who reaches out to me and says, can I have some coaching? You can set up whatever you want it to start with, and then you can set it up in whichever way you want. But I've set up all my Calendly, CALC. So all you do is you type in this shortcut and it'll basically give you your links. Okay, so let me show you how this works. So when you set up a new group, you can put a prefix on it. So I've done dollar because here in Australia, obviously I'm never going to put a letter after a dollar sign. So I know this is something that I can remember. So dollar, CAL. You can see I've got my group name. I could put a note about it. You can set it in a specific application if you want to. I've got it in all. And you've got expand when white space precedes abbreviation, right? So what are your options? All but letters and numbers precede abbreviation, all characters. So you've got some options here. So like I said, for me, if I've got basically anyone asking me about, booking in with me, it's one thing that I've always had to do. Go to Calendly, open it up, copy it, unless I remember it. But now I know that I can go CAL, and then if it's a discovery meeting, D, and I can just basically type that in any kind of application and off it goes. It is brilliant, right? Other things that I thought would be really useful for me were things like, you know, I have to type out my business name, right? Or my business email or my mobile number, or I'm a learning experience designer. It's just things that I type in all the time. So the fact that I can just go $CEB for my business name, it's just saving a lot of time. So those are really just little random things. Other things that I've done, so you can see on Cath Ellis Learning Design, I did a CE as my prefix. Now I've got a few people tuning in here, so jump in and let me know where you're tuning in from, guys. And have you ever used TextExpander? Have you ever, have you ever, heard of it or tried it? I am totally loving it. I'm obsessed. Okay, so other things that I've been doing that are a little bit random are a little bit more unique. So on this random, I didn't set any kind of preference at all. What I wanted to do was make it really quick. So for example, my personal email or my business website, I just wanted to use, for example, W, right? And there you go, it brings up my website. There's things like, I finish off nearly every single email with a certain sentence, and it is this. Please let me know if you have any questions. So the fact that I can just type in two letters is brilliant. Bio are another thing that I get asked for quite a lot. So I've just done a $B for my bio. You know, things like my ABN or my mobile number. Okay, nice and easy. Right, so I'm going to show you stuff that is a little bit more unique because actually it's an incredibly powerful tool. So, date, right? So if I want to put today's date, right, I can go $D. Oh, sorry, date. All right, now you might go, okay, but what if I'm in America and I don't want it in that way? Well, what's really nice is once you start digging deep into this, there's a lot that you can do that you can really customize these fields. So for me, I wanted it put in this date. Now, if I just go down here, I can always delete this, right? So you can see here, let me start showing you some of the things that you can do. So this is essentially how I did this. So if I was in the States, of course, not that they're weird at all, but they do month, I believe, and then day, and then the year. Okay. So you could basically do these fields however you like. So you've got some different options here, and we'll have a look at this in a minute because I'll show you how I've started doing canned responses to really speed up my workflow. But in plain text here, for example, you've got years, you've got times, okay? Now you can also do calculations in this, which is really amazing. You can also simulate doing tabbing or return. You've got different cursor alignments. You've got different options for the way that you want your fields to be formatted. And you've got this as well. So, okay, let's just show you that as a simple one. I won't break that. Let me maybe show you my canned responses. You guys are very quiet on the old comment front. Jump in and say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. All right, so canned responses. Again, we all have them. I've been generally using them out of Gmail. using my canned responses, but sometimes it's a pain because it actually, if sometimes I feel like it brings it in a different font, and you can actually tell. I have to kind of reformat the text because sometimes I feel like you can tell when someone has sorry, I'm losing my words. You can tell when someone's filled in a word, right? So what I have done with my canned responses is I've put them in here, and they are just brilliant. So again, under my canned responses, I did CA, just to, things that are basically, you can do this however you want. You could do dot, you could do plus, you could do whatever you want. This is just the way that I'm going to remember how to do this. So CA, and then I've got some canned responses for yes, I'm available, or no, I'm not available. And another one that I do a lot is sending out my proposal. Now that you can see, this is fairly complex here. So I just want to take you through this one in particular, because I think you'll find it quite interesting. So here I've got my subject line. So basically I will put this code in, right? So if I go, let's show you how this looks. So I'm going to go CAP, right? And essentially what it's doing is, this is the subject line. So I would type CAP in my subject line. So I'm going to put the company. So I'm just going to pretend it's Coca-Cola. And a project, I'm just going to write induction. Okay, and then, sorry, what was that? Project induction. And then the name might be Sally. Conversation, what was for, I'm just going to say induction. And the proposal number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you set this up, but essentially what you'll do is you'll fill this out and then click OK, and it will populate the whole email. And I just think that this is brilliant. So I can actually see that there's potentially I can see that this is not aligned properly. So I'm just going to take one of those away. So you can see that I've actually done this in formatted text and pictures because I want there to be a URL in there. So let's do this from scratch, and I'll show you exactly how I've set this up. So if I go to a new snippet, okay, I can choose between plain text and formatted text, but you'll see that when I move this from plain text to formatted, I've actually got a lot more things that I can do with the content. I can make things bold. I can add a URL. I can just, really enhance it. So, okay, let's pretend that we're going to do a canned response for, it could be a proposal, for example. So I'm going to write here, I'm going to pretend that this is the subject line. I'm going to say proposal. And then I might have a field that I want put in, right? So who is the proposal for? So I'm going to go company. Okay. And then I might also say, what is the proposal for? And this is, what is it for? I'm all over the place today. Okay. Happy days. So from there, I then want it to go to subject line down to the, my acknowledgement, dear, whatever the person's name. So to do that, I'm going to be doing a tab. Yeah. So I'll be doing a tab. Okay. So I'm going to go tab. And then I could even go to the next line here and go dear. I'm going to add another fill in, and I'm going to go name, right, comma, and then I want to return. Right, so I go here to return. And let's just take what I had in this proposal, and just type something in, just for the sake of this, right? Okay, and then I could go. So from here, if I wanted to have a space between dear and this, I would do another return. So let's just go to return. Okay, and we're here. We're going to go return. And we're going to go return. Oops. And I'm going to say best regards. I mean, you could even use this for like a signature. So again, you'll do a return. Let's just have a look how that looks. Okay, so I'm going to set that up with a abbreviation. I'm going to call this proposal test. So see how that's changed the name there. That's the label. And I'm going to call that oh, I'm just going to go T. So C-A-T. So I'm going to go like this, C-A-T. And here you go. Let's just go 1, 2, 3. Click OK. And you can see how it just populates it automatically. Now, this is just a very basic example, but I just think it's so powerful. So I'll show you a couple more examples of what I've done. So I'm actually just going to delete that. So you just right click whatever you want to either duplicate or delete. Okay. So, you know, you can imagine the sky's the limit with things like this. So for example, I talk to my friend Devlin a lot, and he's always like, yeah, do you want to jump on Zoom? What's the link? And I don't want to have to go into Zoom, create a link. So I can literally, I've got an ongoing meeting with him, and I can literally just type his name, and there you go. It just brings it up. And I just love that. I've got things like the Learning Pro Hangout. I've got a personal meeting invite. I've got things like my blurb for my videos, right? So this, for example, is a pain in the neck to have to format. So the fact that I can go YouTube description, and there you go. It brings it all up, nicely formatted. Last thing I'll show you is the community behind TextExpander actually has a number of things that you can download. And I just love this as well. So if you go down here in TextExpander to the bottom, you can actually go, oh, that's another thing. You can actually add groups, so you can share snippets with other people as well. So if you're in a team, you can share things out. So let's have a look. I'm trying to remember how to do this. New snippet. No. Delete. Where was it? Well, I was basically able to go in and download a number of words that, you know, this would be time consuming if I used any of these to go and do the right accents. Unless you're using things like Grammarly that can set that up for you. There's brand words. So, for example, if I type in the word AirPods, it just automatically sets it up. Just fixes it up for you. Or if I type in Facebook, Yeah, it will put it in the, it will type it out correctly. There's also contractions here. If you've got words that you're constantly typing out incorrectly, you can just add them. But these were just part of a community that you can download some of these. Things like, you know, if you want some icons. Yeah, so there's lots and lots of shortcuts. I mean, I haven't used these very much. Symbols as well. They're very useful. And then this was some more little bits and bobs. So that's pretty much the video for today. If you're interested, you know, jump on in. You've got a free trial that you can download. Yeah, $3.33. I certainly feel like in the time that I've used this, I've made my money. It has a really nice little function that gives you statistics on how much time you've actually saved by using TextExpander. I haven't saved very much because it's just a fairly new tool for me, but here you go. You can generate a report and it will give you an idea of how much time you've saved. But I thought that this was just a really useful tool and thought I'd share it out because as an e-learning designer, we have to sometimes format documents and format different things. And you can basically use this for a whole variety of you know, things. So for example, in storyboards, I cut and paste exactly the same thing on every single page. For me to have this ready to go, that I can literally just put a short code and format the document perfectly is just a winner. But you can see I am slowly getting into this, but I've absolutely loved it. Couldn't wait to share it with you guys. And I hope that this saves you a little bit of time on your productivity. Anyway, everyone's been very quiet. I have got a number of people tuning in and no one's saying hello, but that's okay. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I hope this video has been useful and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Thank you.